Questions? Would you call the roll, please?
Garza Ruiz?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Urbanis?
Yes.
Tindall?
Yes.
Waits?
Yes.
Tarwater?
Yes.
Grounds?
Yes.
Spence?
Yes.
Burnett?
Yes.
9 yes.
I don't think there are any add-on resolutions.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Under unfinished business is the continuing career of James Tindall. I'd like everyone here that's a friend or a supporter or a parishioner to stand up, please. Turn over to my colleague, Denny Waits.
You'll have to bear with me a little bit. This is a little difficult for me. And as I look around, I see people like Sam Mann out here. Maybe he ought to be the one up here with his gift of speaking to present this. Let me read the plaque first. In appreciation for the dedication, hard work, and outstanding service given your constituents in Jackson County, Missouri, the Honorable James D Tindall, Jackson County Legislator, January the 1st, 1983 through September the 30th, 1996, January the 1st, 2007 to June the 30th, 2014. Served as Chairman of the Legislature 1986, 1990, 1996, and could have served as Chairman more times but turned it down. Vice Chairman of the County Legislature, November the 25th, 1985 through December the 31st, 1985. Chairman of the Anti-Drug, 2007, 2012. Chairman of the Health and Environment Committee, 2008, 2009. Chairman of the Health and Justice Committee, 1983 and 84. Chairman of the Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, 1988, 89, 2008, 2009. Chairman of Justice and Law Committee, 2010 through 2014. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. Luke 6:45. That's presented this day, June the 30th, 2014, by the Jackson County Legislature. It is very difficult for me to think that you're going to be doing other things and you won't be here to offer your guidance, your friendship, everything that you have brought to this office. As I have worked with Bishop Tindall all these years, no one has been kinder, more inclusive, more compassionate. He brings people together. I have never heard a bad word out of the man's mouth. I've never seen him raise his voice in anger. He has been an absolute gentleman every step of the way. His office door is always open. He has worked to be supportive of all those who are doing so many wonderful things. So many years ago, as the story goes, the Jackson County anti-drug tax program was coming together, which has helped thousands and thousands of people. Originally, that was put forth by prosecutors who were really pushing toward prosecutorial, arrest people, put them in jail. Bishop Tindall said, I will support that, but only if we do treatment, we do education, we do prevention, we do the things that really people need to get them back going forward with positive career paths and lives. He has just been absolutely wonderful to be with all the time. I can't say enough good things about him. We will miss him dearly. I know he won't be far away, and I will continue to look to him for guidance. Even at the most difficult times, he has absolutely been just a wonderful human being. I've watched him as he has met the challenges of life, the challenges of his office. He has worked to be fair and bring people in, to give people opportunities. The very last resolution that came forward today, he sponsored, everybody was for. We can't say enough good things about Bishop Tindall. He will be missed in this role. I'm at a loss for more words. He is just,
Thank you.
you're my hero, buddy.
Thank you.
I guess you get the plaque.
Thank you. I want to thank Denny for those kind words, and all the men and women on this legislature have been wonderful to work with. I have enjoyed being here as a part of the 2nd District. While I may be leaving the legislature, I won't be leaving my job. I'll be working with I can't say enough about the administration. I've enjoyed working with Mike Sanders, and there's not anything that he has not tried to help us in community with, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate all my friends that gathered here today, members of the Urban Summit, and just people from the community, my colleagues in ministry. Thank you so much for being here and part of this. And this is just another chapter in my life. This chapter has ended, but a new chapter begins. And I'll be working in the community. I'll be doing things that and continuing to help wherever I can. So every goodbye ain't gone.
And I said we were still on number 13 is unfinished business.
You brought me this plaque today to make some comments, and you said, can you and Fred do this? And I know exactly why Fred wasn't willing to do it, for fear he may break down in the middle of this, because I know his feelings are the same as mine. It's pretty hard to turn loose with somebody who's been so wonderful.
But someone else say something first, and I hope I can say something.
Well, Mr. Chair, if we could,
Dan, you got something. Someone
we've got
else
the
say-
Godfather with us, Dr. Hartsfeld. Before that, Bishop Tindall is truly one of the great public servants I've worked with. Absolutely the case. I can honestly say that in all my time in the county, Tindall has been with the legislature. I can say in many ways I've grown up with Bishop Tindall starting in 1982 and seen him and what he's done for the citizens of Jackson County. And in every single meeting I've ever had with Bishop Tindall, not one time did he ever ask for anything for himself. He always asked for something on behalf of the community. He always took, as Denny said, he always took the conversation back to that place. And you think about the shadow that his heart and his character is going to continue to cast upon this community. I go back to the combat tax in 1989 and where that was at that time. And we think about the great programs that Jackson County is now known for, whether it's DARE, Drug Court, many of the programs that we have. In Drug Court, when it started in 1989, there was one in the country beside Jackson County. It was Bishop Tindall that really got that started for us. And think about the thousands of lives that's impacted. And anyone that underestimates the impact that the program that he started has need only go to a graduation and watch a graduate, watch their children, their grandchildren, or great-grandchildren talk about how that person has been saved and how that life has been changed. It has literally impacted and saved and changed thousands of lives in this community. And it happened because of one man's heart. Thank you for everything that you've done. By the way, one last thing. And I want to... Now, this isn't much, and I know there's a lot of people who want to say a lot of things about a wonderful man, but when we're done, we got cake. Now, we didn't know this many people are going to be here. We're going to cut the pieces mighty small, so don't expect a big piece. But there's going to be cake for everybody. With that, a great community leader we have in Dr. Hartsfield's with us, and I know he has a few words to say about his good friend, and we're absolutely honored to have him with us here today.
I thank you very kindly for including me. I am humbled at this opportunity to say something about my friend, and I like to say my buddy, Bishop Tindall. I would like to just say, since I'm a preacher, I can't help that, but I remember a parable of the Good Samaritan, and a man who was on his way from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among thieves, it says. He was robbed, beaten, and left half dead. And this preacher went on to explain this, and he said that the priest, the man who took care of the church, took care of the religious establishment, came by and he saw him, and he passed by on the other side. And the Levite came, who was a good member and who supported and was supportive of all of these things. And he looked at him and saw him when he passed by on the other side. And the Samaritan, an outcast, ignored, one who was despised, one who was on the lower class, the minority group. He came by and he saw the man, but he stated, this man came where he was. And I just want to say, Bishop, thank you for coming where we are.
Mr. Chairman?
Are you ready,
Yeah,
Fred?
yeah, I'll say something now. You know, we've heard all these great words about, I still call him Reverend, because when I first met him, he was just a Reverend. Now he's one of the top dogs, being a bishop now, and he deserves it. A finer human being I've never met. Everybody has been talking about what he's done for this community, the inner city. He's one of our biggest boosters in our park system, and our park system serves everybody, and it serves mostly the people of South Jackson County and Eastern Jackson County, where a lot of his people can't even get to because they don't have vehicles to get there. But he's always been a big supporter. So our park system really owes a lot to this man, too. I don't know how many of you ever been to his church for a service, but I've been there a handful of times. And when you leave there, I mean, you know you've been to church. Your whole body's tingling, I'm telling you. It's super. You know, you got to try it sometime. It's really good. You know, I've worked with him on so many different issues, and you know, he's never leaned on anybody or myself that I've ever come in contact with. You know, you just can't say enough good things about him. You know, he's not just a legislator for the inner city. He's a legislator for this whole part of the country. He's been such a gentleman. He's been so good to work with, and you know, people I talk to might ask me about him once in a while, and ask about other legislators, especially Tarwater. Well, I tell him Tarwater's a good guy. Spence is the guy I wonder about. He's a good man too. But he's, you know, just you know, it's so hard to sit here and know that he's not going to be a member of this body anymore. He's been here for so many years and he's done so good. You know, a lot of people say, well, let's throw the bums out. They've been in there a long time. And, you know, as long as you're still clicking and still doing things good, you know, you should stay in there. He knows the system. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe someday, you know, things can change and he can come back again. But, you know, he's been a big part of my life. I've grown up with him, and I've gotten elderly a little bit quicker than he has. But you know, what a guy he is. And you know, as things go along, you know, his children, and then he has grandchildren. It happens to be one of his grandsons out here, Justin, goes to middle school with one of my grandsons, Sammy Thomason, out at Summit Lake School in Leaf Summit. So you're running into people all over the county now that are related to other people. Reverend Cleaver's grandkids go to school out there too, and so everybody, seems to be knowing everybody a lot better than they did years ago. But, I'm going to miss him terribly. I won't be here but a few more months, but, I'm really going to miss him. He's been just a super guy, a real gentleman, and it's hard to see him go and to keep your composure. So I'm going to sign off right now. I love you, Rev.
Thank you.
Bishop, I just want to say, I know we kind of got off on shaky ground when I first got elected. I was young, but you were always fair and kind, and I think that out of that, we have developed a really good friendship, and we have been able to work on a lot of great issues. I've come to respect you and appreciate the guidance and the wisdom that you have given me. And I look forward, because I know that you may be leaving here, but I know that our friendship is going to continue on, and that we're still going to be able to work on a lot of great things for the community. And I value that, and I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah. Mr. Chairman. Bishop, you really have helped me. I've been on the legislature for 20 years. I was, I think, 6 when I was elected. I was a little bit immature. You taught me the way. I know. Sometimes it still comes out, but you know what? That's what makes it fun, and that's what I've learned from Bishop, is you don't take things personally. You take it in, and you use it to help others. You use it to help the community. And that's what I've learned from you. I've known you as Reverend, I've known you as Bishop, and I used to give you trouble. What do I call you? And you said, you can call me Jim. More importantly, I want to call you my friend. You've always been there for me. You've been a teacher. May not have always been the best student, but I've learned a lot. And I will continue to learn, and I appreciate everything you've done, and I appreciate Bishop Tindall. Thank you.
Hi, Bishop. I want to thank you for your many kindnesses to me as the newest member of this body. It was pretty intimidating coming up here with all of the years of experience, particularly on that end down there.
Senior end.
But I think over time we learned that we agree on pretty much everything. We share the same values. We care about our collective community, and that means the entire county. And I just want to say thank you, and we're really going to miss you. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you lots of different places, because I know you'll be praying in Jefferson City trying to get them to expand Medicaid.
Yeah.
Bishop, my experience was probably different than everybody else in the legislature. I didn't know you at all when I came on. Of course, I didn't know several of the members, but different parties, different parts of the community, and I just didn't know you. And as fate would have it, one day I got on an airplane to go to Baltimore, and there were only like 3 other people on that plane. I was headed to Boston. I think you were headed to Baltimore and some other places related to the church. And we sat together and we got to talk for several hours. And one thing I've always found so useful in life is to have other people's perspectives and to hear you talk about the things that needed to happen in your community and ask about things in the community in which I live was so helpful. It gave me an insight as to your heart and the things that you wanted to accomplish that I just didn't know before. And I think if there's any failing in the legislature is because we do represent different parts of the county, we don't have much social interaction. We come here, we meet, and we talk about things publicly as we're supposed to, but we really don't know each other. And I was so glad for that time. And since that time, my respect for you has grown. The bills you bring forward, I'm able to see the perspective you have and the merit they have for all of us that live within the county. And I want to thank you for that, and I appreciate it, and I hope that we'll continue to know each other outside of these chambers.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Well, I think it's my turn. It's time for you all to hear from the opposite end of the political spectrum. I'm very, very certain that a big majority of the people in this room would call the Rev, as I've always called him, a liberal. And I'm sure they would call me a conservative. So we are pretty much opposite. I have, though, in spite of that, always found the Rev to be a kind man and a gentle man. 2 words. I have always held him in high regard, even though on some issues we have disagreed, certainly. And I can even recall a couple of very rare instances where he supported my position. And I told the Rev before this meeting started that there is no way I would even be able to get close to him after this meeting ended. So I wanted him to know how sincerely I'm going to miss him on this body. And that is true. You're the man. Look forward to seeing more of you. And wish you well in your next chapter.
Thank you. Amen.
Bishop Tindall, we have a few minutes left before we adjourn. Are there positions of Bob's you supported? I mean, we might be able to overturn those in the next few minutes.
That's good.
Dan?
The Tindall 5 will always be alive and well. Right here in my heart, we're with you.
Thank you. And I want to thank you. I've known you from before I served, and you've helped me. Came to you 2 or 3 years ago and said, could we move our district lines a little bit to the east and get rid of truce as a dividing line? And you immediately said, let's do it. And so it's helped get me over there and you over here, and so I enjoy the opportunity to have suggested that redistricting. And it's been fun to know you, and you're not going anywhere, so good luck.
Thank you.
I've got to be somewhere at 5 o'clock, so I don't want to let a lot of ministers start talking. If any, thank you all. We're going to have a nice reception outside. If for the better good as anybody else, or 1 or 2 of you want to say hello. Sam, anybody else? Come on up.
I start crying. he knows me, he calls me the weeping prophet, but we can't overlook. There's a $5 million child development center at 2000 East 12th Street that employs about 45 people from the community. Without this man, that building would not exist. Those jobs would not be there. The one thing Bishop James Tindall has stood for amongst it all is employment for the people. Employment for the people. That gives you health insurance, sometimes an annuity. He always held out employment for the people of the community. And I stood with him on that. I stand with him on that. And I'm going to be with him on that until the last fishing worm is dead. He is my brother. He is my friend. I talk to him every day. He gives me my instructions as to what to do. Sometimes I do them and sometimes I don't. He knows I love him like a brother from another mother.
All right, I think we have no new business here. Let's give Bishop Tindall one more round of applause. Our next legislative meeting will be next Monday, July the 7th at 2:30 in these chambers. Is there a motion to
How
adjourn?
about Bishop, make that motion to adjourn?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.
Did you see this nice note I got? Reader's widow, not the judge. I won't read it all, but I enjoyed watching you in action. You are a thoughtful and skillful public servant.